Hey guys, welcome back to some more FPL content, and we're going to be reviewing what happened last week, and then we're going to go on to what our team is potentially looking like for this weekend. So let's go and look at what we got from last week. So we got 76 points, a good week for us. Pretty much a perfect week, apart from one, which was the captain, which could have been even better. But we scroll down. So Raya got 1 point. He did play the 2 games. Obviously, they conceded against Leicester, so he did get the -1, which is unfortunate. Do not have that clean sheet. The back line is still a bit of a worry. Konza only getting 1 point as they drew to Ipswich, conceding 2 goals, which means obviously he got minus points there. And Gabriel, again, obviously we know Arsenal, they didn't get the clean sheet. Guardiola got a goal. They also got a... they didn't get a clean sheet, but he got the goal, which kind of cancelled out the minus the goal. 2 points for playing, and then a bonus for man of the match. So he got 9 points. If he got a clean sheet, would have been better. Robinson, he got a clean sheet and a bonus point, so he got 7. So a decent start in the back line. Moving into the midfield is where we started to cook, really. Saka didn't do much. He only got the minutes played and a bonus. Palmer, on the other hand, 4 goals, 20 points for him, bonus of 3 points, plus 2 for the full match, 90. If you, I think if we show on the highest score, highest points, Palmer there. If you had triple captained Palmer, then you would have got 75 points. Obviously, if you captained him, you could have got 40 points. But yeah, so we got 20 points for him, 25 points, sorry. Mo Salah, 20 points. He scored 1 and got a bonus against Wolves. So Palmer and Salah, 45 points between them. Madueke is still an issue, and I'm looking to resolve that next week, not this week. Smith Rowe, again, despite Fulham winning, he didn't have any contributions, so he just got the minutes played. Up top was Calvin Lewin. Everton did win, but he didn't do anything. He got a yellow card instead, so he only got 1 point. Ramsdale on the bench 2. Isak didn't even play. Foos didn't play, and Pedro's injured as well. So going into this weekend, guys, we have 2 injuries. So I have made new transfers. But before that, let's go and look at the leagues. So the McDonald's League, we've gone up to 10th. I believe I was 14th last weekend. So we're slowly moving up. We are a long way from making it a top 4 in the McDonald's League. But maybe with another good weekend like last week, there is still definitely room to improve. As 93. Looking at this, I was in the top 3 for most points. So another week like that, there's something definitely chance we can move up the table. Looking at my mini league, I am at 4th. We started at 8th. We were currently sitting third, but on Sunday we dropped down to fourth. But yeah, so 50 points off top, which is obviously more durable than in the whole of McDonald League, where we currently sit about 90 points. There is a little gap from Marcus to Kevin, which is 30 points. So coming into this weekend, if I can break into the top three, even second maybe, there is a good chance that we can start moving up the table rather than looking behind us. We do have I wouldn't say comfortable gap, because obviously we know how FPL works. You can have a stinker or you can do amazingly. So as long as we are moving forwards and we're moving up the table, then all is good. So coming in to the transfers, we've made our 2 transfers. Transfers wise, so we've got 0.5 in the budget. Obviously, we've used both our 2 rolling transfers. And the changes have been in the forwards line. So Isak has been sold because he was losing money. I believe he went 0.2 this week because of the injury. And Joe Pedro. So I've gone in for Delip, who scored 2 goals last weekend. And the reason why I went Delip is because he's the same value as John Pedro. So if Pedro does come back earlier than expected, then I will be able to easily transfer Delip back to Joe Pedro. And if Delip does start doing well like he did last weekend, then obviously he might go up in value. Obviously, I am basing it off him did score in his last 2 games for Ipswich. Obviously, we know how Ipswich are defensively. They're not too great. But hopefully, him being the leading goal striker for Ipswich, he can maybe get some contributions. And then I've gone for Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson. Now, my big worry is I do have 3 Chelsea players. Hopefully next week I can get rid of Madueke and keep it just Jackson and Palmer. But for this weekend, we're going for the triple Chelsea. And it's a big risk. They do have Forest, which is hopeful that they can get 3 points and some goals. But if it all goes wrong, it could be a disaster for us. But yeah, I've gone for Jackson just simply because he's been a good striker for Chelsea so far. If we look at his information, so he's got 10 points against Wolves, 6 against Palace, had a stink against Bournemouth, scored a lot of goals against West Ham, and then obviously got 5 points against Brighton this weekend. So he's definitely getting some points. Obviously, there is a chance that he does blank, and obviously with Liverpool and Newcastle, the 2 games after, it's a big risk, and that is the reason why after this week I want to get off Madueke so I don't lose points. But yeah, we're going to have to go for a little bit of a risk this weekend. And as you can see, Robertson has dropped to the bench because Man City do play Fulham. And I'd rather Man City get the clean sheet and Guardiola get the clean sheet than obviously being a draw. Obviously, it is a risk that maybe they both score. And that is why I've put Smith Rowe in there just in case Fulham do score, or he might get assist. But I'm hoping for potentially a 0-0, or and again like last week, Guardiola scoring and getting the win for City. Konza in obviously against United. As a United fan, we're probably going to get bummed again. We don't need to talk about what happened this weekend against Spurs, but Konza has a good chance that he does keep a clean sheet. And again, this might be the last week of Konza in, or if he doesn't perform. The midfield stays the same, of course. The only option I am discussing between is captaincy. So obviously Mo Salah has Crystal Palace. Palace obviously not as looking as good as they were last season. Obviously we could go Palmer, obviously scoring 4 goals last weekend. Or we can go Saka, who's got Southampton, who are currently defensively quite bad. If we look at Premier League table, so obviously Southampton down the bottom, Palace also down the bottom. Forest is in 10th, so maybe not putting on a captain on Palmer might not be the best idea, because they do look quite good. So I'd be looking more of keeping it on Salah or moving it on to Saka. The problem is if I do go Saka, and Haaland does get some goals against Fulham, then obviously it's a long way. As if you put on Salah, if he does score, then obviously he kind of cancels out the Erling Haaland captaincy. So it's a little risk, or go big or go home this week, really, with the injuries and the transfers that we've brought in. Obviously, I still have a day and a half to decide on who I'm going to captain, but I'm more leaning towards Salah, just because if City don't score goals and Haaland doesn't score goals against Fulham, there is a good chance Liverpool can put some past Palace, and that might give me the edge over people with Haaland in their squad, rather than putting it on Saka, who I don't believe he scored. I think he scored. No, so Saka has not scored. He's only assisted. So putting him on a captain, it's if he doesn't do anything, it's not good. If he gets assist or 2, maybe you're looking at about 3 points for assist. So say gets 2 assists, 6, captain 12. He's gonna get like 20 points. Where you could put it on Salah, he might score, and you're looking at 15 times 30 points. So I think you've got to keep it on Salah, and then maybe we look elsewhere to captaincy next week, obviously, because Chelsea have Liverpool coming up. So that is my FPL thoughts for this week, guys. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We did hit 250 subscribers this week, but I want to keep going. I want to aim for 500. So please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next FPL game weekend. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.